I do need a clicker. Right. Hello. Hello, beautiful people. It is absolutely fantastic to be here. I'm just going to pop this up here. Just pride of place. You know, this is a no-pitch event, so we're just going to keep that there. Just everyone focus on it for a minute. Just a little focus. That's my book, everybody. It's only came out yesterday, and I'm like, this is all weird and crazy. So I'm going to talk to you for the next, I say 45 minutes. I can be a bit of an oversharer, which means I can talk a lot as well. So I think I'm going to need like a little bit of a wrap up when it comes to it. I am an influencer. Gross. Everyone hates influencers, right? But we all have to be influential in our own niche, because otherwise we don't get anywhere. Being influential means that we change people's views, we change people's opinions, and sometimes we can even change people's lives with our content. So this is what I do as an ADHD money expert. So I do ADHD, money and business content, which you might think, that's not really very relevant to TubeFest. But actually, as a result of growing my social media audience, I have become a visibility strategist and a business coach. I'm a multi-potentialite. Has anyone heard that word before? Yeah, Wash has, because like, he's my friend. But like, anyone else? No? Okay, so a multi-potentialite, a multi-passionate, multifaceted, basically means that you do lots of things. And when you do lots of things, the only thing that pulls it all together is your personal brand. So when you're out there creating content, you don't just want to be hiding away behind a logo, behind a brand name. You want to be showing you, the real you. So I go out into the world as a multi-potentialite who does a shit ton of things, but because of my personal brand, people are like, I know Maddy because she does this. I know Maddy because she does that. I know Maddy because she does that. People know me for different reasons, and that's totally cool. I run a successful membership, which I started a year ago last week, and it's got 365 people in it. And it's amazing, but it's a community of people where there's like no hierarchy or any like bullshit crap. And also we've got a no douchebag policy, so any douchebags, are there any douchebags here? No? Okay, cool. You're all allowed in. I'm an author, a speaker, and also a trainer. So I train people how to use TikTok, how to get visible in their business, and how to show up authentically as themselves. TikTok has been my favorite platform for about 4 years. And I've absolutely loved every single second of being on TikTok. But there are so many reasons why people don't go on TikTok. And I'm going to give you some of the reasons why you should go on TikTok. Now, normally, the word should needs to get in the fuck it bucket. Because who here has thought that they should do something in business? Show of hands? Yeah? And you don't want to do that when people say you should do it. So I'm going to strongly suggest that you might check TikTok out as a platform. How many of you are actually on TikTok at the moment? That's good. Excellent, you're in the right place. So there are 1.9 billion TikTok users. That's astonishing. That's so many people. And there is a niche for everybody there. SEO, search engine optimization, it used to be Google. So people used to go to Google to find their products or their services. Now, they go to TikTok. They're like, oh, I want to buy this thing. They go to TikTok shop. I want to find a new coach. They go to TikTok to find them. I want to buy a smoothie. They go to Joey. Like, you know, they don't anymore, but, you know, they used to go to Joey. But it's a thing where, like, whatever somebody wants, they will always go to TikTok to try and find that thing. So search engine optimization now is super important, and the TikTok algorithm has recently changed, and SEO is paramount. So I'm going to talk to you all about how to kind of hack that a little bit as we go along. Your clients are there, so whatever you do, there is a TOC for it. A TOC is a pocket of people who all have the same likes, the same values, the same interests. So whatever you do, whether you're a home educator or a smoothie maker or a barber or just a creator, as long as you've got those values, those ethics and those morals there, you're going to attract the right types of people. Now, I'm not about going viral for the sake of going viral. And I know that at a festival like this, it's all about, let's go viral, let's do all the things. But I'm about getting people to go viral in their specific niche, so specifically. And it doesn't matter if you get 300 views, because could you imagine, like, I'm here talking to all of you lot. There's, probably 150 people here? I don't know, I'm not very good at maths. For a money expert, that's terrible. But there's loads of you here. If you get 300 views on a TikTok video, you're still talking to 300 people every single time you post. You can beat the competition, but more importantly, you can also collaborate with the competition. TikTok is a really nice platform for actually finding people to work with. There are more viral opportunities on TikTok than there are anywhere else, maybe barring YouTube. I'm going to say that lightly. But for me, I have found the viral opportunities, but I go viral in a way that works for my audience. I strategically go viral. I know what's going to make me go viral. But for me, it's more important that I have the followers who are going to buy from me. Because as so many people have said today, it's about the money. PR. You can get PR from TikTok, and I get shitloads of it. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's absolutely horrendous. Does anyone remember a couple of weeks ago when there was that massive thing about changing of PIP and disability benefits? Anyone remember that? Yeah, they massively threw me under the bus, and they said that I was basically trying to con everybody into thinking that they had ADHD, just so that they could claim benefits. I mean, it's not that cool to be ADHD, I'm not going to lie. Have we got any ADHDers in the house? Oh, there's a lot of you. Can you all sit on one table so I can come and chat with you afterwards? That would be great. You can sell things from TikTok. It's not that easy because you need to have a link in your bio and you need to get to 1,000 followers before you can have your link in your bio. But once that link is there, people just know to go to it. You don't even have to say, go to my link in bio to buy. You just do it. People just know that that's where they go to find your stuff. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my TikTok story. I started on TikTok during the pandemic. And I did silly dancing videos. I did that blinding lights one. I did the do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. Does everyone remember that one? I did that one, and it was rubbish. And I got 80 followers really quickly, and I thought I was really cool. And I just did all these things, and my son, still to this day, says, "Mummy, can we do that one where we jump in the swimming pool?" It's like a pretend film of water, and he jumps off the couch into it. But it wasn't really a business platform back during the pandemic. And I was awkward on camera. I literally just did things because my kids thought it was funny. My platforms were Facebook and Instagram. And I had a fairly good-sized Instagram following. I had 25,000 followers on Instagram. I had a business. It was a discount card that helped people to shop local, which was thriving. I grew it into a franchise. It was a national franchise. We had 28 franchisees. And it was doing really, really well. Raised 250 grand in investment, and the pandemic came along and shat all over it. Because as you can imagine, when you run a business that helps people to shop local and you can't leave the house, it was kind of a bit null and void. So my business plummeted to the ground. I lost all of my social media accounts because they were all attached to the business. I'd been hiding behind my brand for years and years and years. I had a nervous breakdown. So my mental health was on the floor. I had a recurring kidney infection that wouldn't shift. And then my mother-in-law passed away. And it was a really difficult time in my life. And I all of a sudden realized that I was grieving for a business when somebody that was really close to me had just died. So I kind of transferred my grief. And then I thought, Maddy, what are you doing? You need to actually do this. What can you do? So I was like, I actually don't have any more business ideas. I'm not an entrepreneur, so I went and got a job for 6 weeks. It was terrible. It was working for the people who bought the assets of my dead business. They asked me to be CEO, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go run my business for you. Like, no, not a chance. So I left. At that point, my Instagram account, which was my personal one, got hacked, and I lost all of my followers, like literally all of them, overnight. And they wouldn't give it back to me. And every time I tried to set up a new Instagram account, the bots or whatever it is, like the AI or whatever it was, just kept blocking me, so I couldn't do anything. So I just had this thought, I wonder if I could do TikTok for business. So I started a TikTok account, and I thought, well, what am I good at? I've got ADHD, I'm good at talking about money. I've been talking about money because I've had this money-saving app for the last, 5 years. So I'm going to start talking about money, and I'm going to start talking about business. So I started a new TikTok account, Mad About Money Official. By the way, if you still want to go and see all of my shit videos, Maddy Alexander-Grout is the one that you want to look at. Don't follow that one permanently, because I haven't done anything on it for years. But it's still there because I remind myself of how shy I used to be, how I wouldn't actually be able to talk directly to the camera. As an autistic person, giving myself eye contact made me feel physically sick. So I didn't want to close that account down. And now that I teach people TikTok, I use that as an example of how crap you can be and how you can move into being quite good in the end. Building my TikTok account changed my life. Not only did I make money from it really quickly, but I also built a successful coaching business. I have been featured in the press ridiculous amounts of times. And most recently, I've used it for my book launch to get a #1 Amazon bestseller, which has been absolutely incredible. So there are so many opportunities there. You just need to create the content. You can get partnerships on TikTok. So I've had, not just brand partnerships, but if you run a business and you've got a product or a service, you can collaborate with other people in your industry. And the more you connect with them, the more you talk to them, the more likely. I think that's my phone. Can someone grab that? It's my alarm going off. That's really embarrassing. God, turn off your phones, people. Just thanks. So you can collaborate with people, and the more you engage with people, because it's not just about doing your videos, it's about sticking around and telling the platform that you actually want to be there, and you're there to make partnerships and actually talk to people, the more you can get from people. So when I launched my book, I reached out to loads of influencers, and I was like, hey, how much is it going to cost for me to work with you for your book? Most of them said free, because they like me, which is nice. Some of them said, oh, I'll do you a discount because we're friends, which is lovely. And also, I'm always happy to pay people, by the way, for any of you guys who are just giving me evils there. But it's really important to know that the more you build a relationship with people, the more they're going to be willing to actually work with you. I collaborated with Ideas Fest. I said that I'd help them to launch their TikTok. They basically said, we just want to get to 1,000 followers. Once we're there, you can disappear. So I was like, fine. So I did that. And as a result of that, they said to me, can you host a stage? So I hosted an entire stage for a whole day, which was really fun. So it's just about the opportunities that it brings. The PR. So on here, there are some of the good PRs that I've had. This one, disability cuts won't affect me, boasts benefits influencer. That was a really bad one. Really bad piece of press that got me 5,000 new followers and a load of new support from people. So even bad PR, you can get good results from TikTok. They don't always ask you to take your videos. That is the only thing that you need to bear in mind. So whenever you're going out with your content, think, if this ended up in a newspaper, would I be okay with it? Always a good question to ask. You can build a community, and that's really what it's all about. It's about being the go-to expert in your niche. It's about talking about the things that you know. It's about going viral for the right reasons. So you might go viral because your cat's fallen down the stairs, or you walked into a lamppost. Brilliant, but that's not going to make you any sales. So it's about going viral for the right reasons. You can build trust with your audience. So I am, as I said before, an oversharer. I overshare all the time. There is pretty much nothing that people don't know about me because my life is online. Or so they think. There's lots of things that I don't talk about online, and that's about having boundaries within what your content is, especially if you're talking about personal things. But it helps to get people to know who you are, because people buy from people. So the more authentically you are, the more you show up as yourself, the more people will come into your world, and they'll be like, I want to buy from that person. Don't just show up and talk shit. Add value, give people lessons, actually help people to learn something. That's going to be the thing that's going to get you from just being a content creator to being a business owner that's making lots of money. And collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. You can do so much with the platform. Get people to be on your podcasts. Do joint TikTok lives with people. Get people to help you out with your online events or your, anything. I mean, I basically put a post out to say, I've got a festival in 2 weeks. It's an online festival. Who wants to speak? And within a day, my festival was full up. There's another one in November, by the way, if anyone wants to speak at that. You can make extra income. So you don't have to be a full-time content creator. I have never been a full-time content creator. I run 2 busy businesses. I've got an app and I've got my coaching business. So for me, TikTok is like a half an hour a day job, but I grow consistently on it. You can sell your own products, your own services, and that's what I do with mine. And I built a multi-six-figure business in just over a year from my content on TikTok. Now, I'm going to full disclosure here, I do use other platforms. I'm quite big on LinkedIn. I'm doing all right on Instagram. YouTube, I've got like 200 and something followers, if anyone wants to find me there. But it's about having that diversified kind of platform, etc. Affiliate marketing. So I earn thousands of pounds a year from selling other people's products. They have to align with me and my brand, because I'm not going to promote somebody unless it aligns with my values. It's not about the money for me. It's about making sure that my audience get that value and they feel like they're being looked after. So I'm not just going to sell them just any old crap. Brand deals, like Joey spoke about, there's loads of things. I've collaborated with some really big brands like Pampers and Tide, like just to name a couple. You can sell your book. You can drive traffic to you as a person. Series on TikTok. Series are really good for showcasing your products and services. And creator rewards, which is a little bit of a sticky subject for me right now because I've just been eliminated from the TikTok rewards program. And I'm quite peed off about it because apparently you're not allowed to support trans rights. And I basically did a post supporting trans rights, and they barred me. So anyway, it's in the process of being sorted. But just sometimes watch out for algorithms. They pick up words and they think you're trying to be a bad person. Lead funnels. So Standstore. Does anyone here use Standstore? 2 people. Great, okay. This is brilliant, though, because Standstore is literally, and I'm sorry, High Level, I use High Level as well. I use both of them. But Standstore is a really great way to convert your audience with one click. So if you give away freebies or lead magnets or anything that has high value that gets more people onto your email list, Standstore is brilliant. I'm going to share a QR code with you at the end. I do have an affiliate link in my Standstore, so if anyone wants to give it a trial, you get a free 2-week trial. You can go and have a look at mine as well, see how I've got it laid out. But I haven't used my website in 2 years. It's just rubbish. Just don't bother with that crap anymore. But it's a really, really good source of generating really quick revenue. And in the last year, since I've started using it, I've added an extra 12,500 people to my email list. So it is really good. And especially on TikTok, when you are directing people to your Stan, you're not saying link in bio. The algorithm doesn't hate you. So if you just say, look at my Stan, people just actually go and do it. And genuinely, it's a really good way. So I'll share all my freebies with you at the end. Growing your email list is the thing that's going to help you to make more money. So it is really important. It's just as important as showing up on social media. And if you're not doing those call to actions, I call them little high fives, Subtle call to actions are the things that are going to help you to grow your email list. Let's bust a few myths about TikTok here, because there are so many people who are like, I don't want to go on that platform. It doesn't sound very nice. It's run by the Chinese. Gross. It's not just video, okay? So we'll start right there. If you think, I don't want to show up, I don't want to do videos, I mean, I don't know why you'd all be here, actually. So, you might be in the wrong place if you don't want to do videos. But it isn't just videos. You can do photos. You can do posts. They've got stories. There are ways that you can add your content so that people can comment on it to get more engagement. You could actually, if you're feeling really super duper lazy, you can actually just do a text post. Buy my shit. It doesn't work as well as doing the videos, but you can do that if you really want to. You don't have to show your face. AI is a really good way to grow a social media channel. It's not what I teach. I teach people to show up authentically, be themselves, because there's no one better than you guys, right? But you can. There's people out there that you can talk to about the AI stuff, but you can do it. It's not just teenagers dancing. In fact, the fastest growing demographic on TikTok is the over 40s. Hi. The perimenopausal lot, we're here. But they're the fastest growing ones. So you don't have to be limited by how old you are, by who you are, what your beliefs are. It is suitable for any niche. And if you don't believe me, go and search for your niche on TikTok. Go and find some other people who are doing things that you're doing. Look at their content. Have a look at what they're putting out there into the world. What's working for them? Because if it's working for them, it's going to work for you. And guess what? That means more money. You don't have to spend hours doing content. You do not have to be a full-time content creator to grow a TikTok following. Half an hour a day. I do probably 3 TikToks a day, and I spend half an hour a day on it. Because I'm booked one-to-one with all my clients, and managing my membership, and running my courses. It's a really easy platform. I create for TikTok. I make all of my videos under 90 seconds, and that way I can repurpose them on every single platform. And that's exactly what I do. Literally any one of you can be influential. Say it to yourselves now, I can be influential. You don't have to say it out loud. You can if you want to, but say it in your heads. Every single last one of you is either a business owner or a creator. And that means that you have the ability to be influential. And all social media platforms steal your data. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Facebook, if you do that, what type of dog am I going to be today? Or if I was married to a celebrity, which one would it be? Those are the worst. Way, way worse than TikTok. TikTok do's and don'ts. So the don'ts here, I think, are even more important than the do's. Has everybody got pen and paper? Because you might want to write some of these down. Feel free to take a screenshot, by the way. You are more than welcome. I do not mind anybody taking any pictures. So take pictures, tag me on your Instagrams or your TikToks, wherever you want to tag me. Get rid of dead air. You have 3 to 4 seconds to convert somebody to watch your video when they go onto TikTok. So if you're there and you're waiting for the camera, hi, I'm Maddy. I'm an ADHD money and business specialist, and I teach people TikTok. By that point, they've already scrolled past, so you've lost an opportunity to talk to people. Stop with the intros. Happy Wednesday! It's Wednesday today. Nobody cares. They know it's fucking Wednesday. They're a human. Everyone knows what day of the week it is. You don't need to tell them. You don't need to introduce yourself on every single video. But it is helpful, because the way that the TikTok algorithm has changed now, every time you create a new video, it goes out to a new set of people. So make sure that if you're introducing yourself, you do your hook first, something hard-hitting. Think about punching them in the face, not literally, but think about something that's going to actually get their attention so that they stop scrolling. It doesn't have to be a word, it doesn't have to be a sentence, it could be a movement, it could be like a sliding onto camera, or like filming some sort of B-roll. It doesn't have to be something that is physical. But you do need that hook in there before you introduce yourself. So something like, oh my God, you're never gonna believe what's just happened. Like things that hook people in. I'm Maddy Alexander-Grout, and I'm a money and business specialist, but let me tell you what's just happened. Sometimes, if your video, and you can look at this in your analytics, if your video is dropping off after the first 10 seconds, you know that your hook's been good, but your video content is not. You need to get them back up again, you need to get them watching. So sometimes you'll need a secondary hook. So just something else that's just bringing them back into the room. Stop selling on every video. I see this so much. You don't have to sell every video. It's like, I've got a course that's running next week. Come and join my program. Come and join my program. Like, nobody's going to join your program if they don't get value from you, if they don't know your story, if they haven't connected with you as a human. Use calls to action to get people into your world. Hi, I'm just popping on. Has anyone ever heard that? Like when people do a live, you're like, ugh. It's like something that makes me recoil. You're not just popping on anywhere. Hi, I'm just going live. Again, they can see you're going live. You don't need to tell them that you're going live. Start with the hook. Keep people engaged. So if you're doing a TikTok live, keep reminding people why they need to be there and why they need to be watching. Stop overusing hashtags. It's not 2020 anymore. Hashtags, really, really good for TikTok. They do, and there will be conflicting information here, but I feel the way that hashtags work for SEO, and the same, there's loads of different things in SEO that count towards your TikTok doing well, but hashtags are the thing which direct your content to the right people. Stop with the FYP. A hashtag FYP, yes, it might get you onto the For You page. You're going to get there anyway. But using that FYP is going to send your content out to millions of people. You might think that's great. And if you're just trying to go viral for viral's sake, awesome. But if you're not, if you've actually got purpose with your content and you want people to buy from you, stop it. Use hashtags as if they are search terms on Google. So if you are Googling something, think, what would somebody Google to come and find this video? That's what you want to be using as hashtags. 6 to 8 on TikTok is absolutely fine. Any more than that, and the algorithm goes, I don't know where to put them. I don't know where, there's too many, so you'll get low views. So just make sure that you're thinking about who you want to send that out to. And stop posting and running. How many of you are guilty of this? You post a TikTok and then you're like, I'm going to disappear. Stick around. Engage with other people. Find out who your competitors are. Find out who has got the same audience with you. You know, if you share an audience with somebody and you do different things, support each other. You're going to grow your audience faster by sticking around on the platform and actually having conversations with people. And it shows TikTok that you are not just somebody who is just going to be off on another platform in 2 seconds. So the do's. The hooks are super important. You have to think of your hook, the first 3 to 4 seconds, as the thing that is going to get somebody into your audience. Know your audience. Your audience is, they're the people that you have to please. So talk about content that is going to be relatable to them. There's no point in going on and doing a TikTok, ranting about some horrible customer experience you've had in Sainsbury's. I did that once, by the way. Don't do it, because it was so off topic for me, and it got me a load of shit. You have to stay in your lane. So give the content that relates to your content pillars, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Engage, engage, engage. Give value. Show up and actually, you can never give too much value. I'm giving you guys all loads of tips here. Hopefully that means that at some point you might want to work with me, rather than thinking of it the other way. Oh, she's given me loads of tips. Oh, I'll never work with her. Nobody ever says that. So give the tips, give the value, help your customer wherever they are in their journey. Support each other. There's loads of you here. Go and chat with other people. Go and find out what other people do. Go and follow them on TikTok. Follow them on all the other channels. You're going to find people that you can collaborate with and work with. Think about keywords, okay? So you want to be adding the cover label to your TikTok. TikTok picks up, from an algorithm perspective, what you're saying. So if you're saying words that have keywords in it, that really helps the SEO. Think about your description, keywords in your description, not just the hashtags. Don't just be lazy and put, this is a video, here's the hashtags. Think about what keywords you could use from a search perspective that people would bring people into your video. Move. What I mean by move is don't just sit there like this. Hello, I'm a person, I'm going to talk to you now. Because it's just not engaging. Like, if you just do face-to-camera videos like I do a lot, I'm very animated with my hands. I'm very, I don't do that many videos on the move. But I do move during my videos, and that's really important. The covers that you add not only help towards SEO, but when somebody comes back to your page, if they watch one of your videos, and then they come and they're like, oh, I want to watch all the other ones, and there's no covers on them, it tells people that there's no, how on earth is someone going to scroll through your content and go, I want to watch that video, I want to watch that video, and then they're not going to be able to binge watch your content. So think about your content as a library. And by adding those covers, you are categorizing. Put things into series, put things into playlists, so it makes it really easy for your customers in their journey to come and find what they're looking for. This is the stable table, okay? Now, this is something that I completely made up because my weird ADHD brain doesn't really remember things very well. So I've made this to basically remind me of how I should be doing my content. So you've got 4 table legs. Think of those table legs as your content pillars. You don't have to have 4, but I have 4 because it keeps my table stable. So think about my content. I do ADHD content, I do money content, I do business content, I do TikTok content. I don't do anything else, at all, unless it's related to ADHD, disabilities, benefits, which still ties into money. I don't talk about anything else. It has to relate. Every single piece of content that I ever do goes back to my content pillars, because that's what I want people to know me for. The tablecloth is you. The tablecloth is you and your personal brand. That's the stories that you can weave in. That's the things that you let people know about your personality. It's the things that let people know that you have shared values, shared beliefs, and shared goals with people. It's going to be the thing that brings people in. If your tablecloth falls off, all of your cups and saucers and vases and whatever you've got on there, they're all going to slide off. If one of your table legs breaks, your cups and vases are going to fall off. Does anyone want to guess what the cups and vases are? Your audience. So you need to keep them on the stable table so that you can grow with them. Feel free to take a picture of the stable table as well. Also, who likes the skull cup? That's my favorite. I feel like you could make a potion in there. Oh, sorry, did you want that back? Sorry. Does anyone else want it back? Cool, take a picture. The stable table. I invented this, by the way. If you hear anybody else ever talking about it, it's mine. Everyone done? Yeah? Okay, cool. So by using TikTok to grow your business, you can be the best, and I want you to be the best. TikTok will give you broad reach, it will give you global potential, and it will help you to reach your ideal clients. It will help you to build your audience, engage your community. It will help you to sell your stuff. And this is your fucking time to shine, people. So go and do it. Does anybody have any questions? So I have a really, really strong agenda when it comes to trolls. And this is basically my motto. If I wouldn't send them a Christmas card, I don't give a fuck who they are or what they say. Like, it's as simple as that. When you get trolled by social media people, like, quite often they will have a cat as their profile picture, or a dog, or they won't have even bothered to change it, or they'll have 5 followers. They mean nothing in your life. Do not show up. Do not stop showing up to tell your story just because you're scared of what people say or what people think. I have people coming at me all the time because I create controversial content. It's really not. I help people who are disabled. I help people from marginalized backgrounds. I help people who are understood, like misunderstood, who have felt weird their whole lives to show up authentically as themselves. But that makes me a bad person. It makes me woke and all that stuff. You know, I'm fairly proud to be woke. It's fine. But it's all about being you and being authentic. And if you're showing up as your true, authentic self with your values, your beliefs, and somebody's coming at you over that, that is a them problem, not a you problem. 100%. Yes, hello.
Thank you. On my TikTok channel, we started from nothing, and we started gradually getting more and more views and likes, and from like 100 to 300, 400, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, making the same kind of content that we'd been growing on, we dropped down to getting 200 views a video, and we've stayed there for the last 2 months. How do we recover from this?
Okay, so that's an algorithm change, which they have, annoyingly, every single time there is an algorithm change, we have to work out what it is that they're trying to push out now. And it will probably be that there's not enough SEO in your content. So think about having a title on your videos. What sort of content do you do?
Find interesting. We're a marketing company, so we find interesting stories about marketing campaigns. Like why they failed, why they did really badly, what's unique about them, and things like that. So that's what we do.
Are you doing big brands or small brands?
We try to mix it up.
I would probably focus more on the bigger brands because they're the ones that people know, and that's the sort of thing that people will be interested in. So one of my clients, a chap called Michael, he's got a page called Shifting Shares. He talks about the stock market. But he'll never talk about the small people. He talks about the big people because that's what brings people in. Mm-hmm. If you're like, oh, look at this marketing campaign that Tesco's have done, everyone's going to be like, oh, Tesco's, we all know that brand. Whereas if you go, oh, look at that marketing campaign that Maddy Alexander-Grout did. No, I mean, no one's going to care about that. Not right now, anyway. So I would focus on the bigger brands and doing those. But look at your SEO. Come and hang out in my membership. It's $10 a month. Like, I can teach you some stuff. Does anyone else have anything?
On the SEO side of TikTok videos, in the deck you mentioned about subtitles for videos,
yes.
And obviously in TikTok you can do automated, like generated subtitles.
Yes.
Do you think they count towards SEO?
Absolutely, yeah. Not only do subtitles count towards SEO, but 80% of TikTok users, or something like that, I might have just made that figure up, but I'm pretty sure it's really high, they are, I got distracted by Washington putting his hand up, 80% of TikTok users watch it with no sound. You know, think about it, they're at school, they're in the office, they're at the bus stop, they're like watching something on the bus, you know, they're not going to have it on loud. So it will help you to get more views, it will help you to get, it's also from a disability perspective, you know, some people will struggle if there's no captions. Videos that have the subtitles will 100% get more views than videos that don't. Sorry, back to you again, I have to wrap it up, I've been told, oh God, too many people. You've already asked one, I'm going to go with this chap over here, sorry, you can come talk to me afterwards.
Hi, we were talking in the other room about YouTube and the fact that if you pivot, you can potentially get penalised if you're going out of your niche, if you're experimenting. How does that sit with TikTok? Is it a safer place to pivot and experiment?
To be honest, it's a safer place to practice, You can go viral for anything because each individual video goes to a new set of people first before it goes back to your followers. Followers are actually a little bit null and void on TikTok nowadays. Like, it's more about finding the new people. It's great, yes, because if they follow you, your content's going to show up in their feed. But when your video first goes out, it's going to go to new people. So if you're trying to test something new, it's a really good platform to do that. Okay, just make sure that you keep specific with your hashtags. Make sure they relate to the video. And maybe explain to people what you're doing so that they don't think, oh, well, this guy's now talking about robots when before he was talking about cornflakes. Random example. But you don't want the people who are following you for the cornflakes to not follow you because you're talking about the robots.
Okay, thanks.
I think that's probably all we've got time for. I have got shitloads of freebies in my Stan store. If anybody wants to look at Stan store and see what it looks like, this is an example of how kind of mine is laid out. You can also pre-order my book there. Who here has got ADHD? Put your hands up again. Put your hands up again. Lovely. And be honest, who here struggles with money? A little bit. Okay. Come here then, you. That's for you. You can have that. You have to share it, but you have to share it, though. You have to do a TikTok on it. That's your challenge. Fabulous. Well, thank you all for listening. Anyway, I'm Maddy Alexander-Grout. You can follow me on my Stan anywhere. Thank you.
Woo! Thank you so much, Maddy.